My name is Adirola Olayinka Joseph. I'm the current team manager of Atlantic Business Football Club. I'm a graduate of the University of Lagos, BSc Human Kinetics. I also hold a master's degree in sports administration and management, also from the prestigious University of Lagos. And I have a coaching certificate from the NIS in sports and training, football to be precise. And I'd say it's been 3 years at the club, and I started from being the head coach of the team, and I found myself being the team manager of the team. And I must say it's been a journey. We've moved from training on sand to Inekwe, to changing camps once, twice. I think we've changed the third camp, and I think we've arrived where we are as a club now, and I must say it's a beautiful journey. All right, 2024 was a very good year for the club. I think our major high point in the year was, we gaining promotion into the third tier of Nigerian football, and it was very beautiful to see a lot of hard work, turn into success at the end. We played the NLO, and we were unbeaten throughout the whole competition. A lot of players had brilliant performances, and after that we had to start a new league entirely, which is the N-Youth League. And also, of course, we continued in the fourth season in the TCC, and I think it's been quite a journey. We've had good moments, we've had very poor performances, we've had brilliant performances, and in contrast, the TCC and the N-Youth League, I would say, both present a level of different challenge to the boys. We're used to playing in the TCC, and we know what it takes, we know what the oppositions look like. But in the case of the N-Youth League, it presented a new challenge for the boys. They had to now involve preparing for away games. We're not doing badly in the TCC, and I'd say we're not doing badly in the N-Youth League. Although, if I'm being honest, I was really expecting that we'll be in a much better position on the log. But again, it is what it is. We have to look at better. We have to look for different metrics, to evaluate our performances. And I would say, looking at performances, I would say we are quite impressed how some players have been able to inculcate what they've been learning into games. So I'd say 2024 has been a really good year for us. Looking at it from our promotion and the type of performance that we displayed in the NLO, we were coming into the season with a lot of hopes, and we were quite optimistic that we were going to do very, very well. And while I would say I think that has not really been the case, because we had a lot of roadblocks, and we've been trying to scale through those challenges. For us in the TCC, I would say we really anticipated that we would be doing much better than we are. We're seventh on the log, and I'd really say it doesn't really represent how well we've prepared and how well we've put in a lot of effort. But again, it is football, you understand, and football is not always 2 + 2, you understand. So I would say we're looking forward to having a better season, second half of the season in the league, in the TCC league. While I would say the N-Youth League was quite a new experience for the boys, because they had to start traveling. We had to go to Bayelsa, we had to go to Ibadan, and both games that we played away in the N-Youth League, it was difficult for us to pick any point. I think we only picked 1 point on the road, but we understood that it presented a new challenge to the boys, which is what we want. And also the number of games were so much, and they had to adapt to that level of challenge, because at the end of the day we want them to go on to become professionals, and preparing them is what we need these games for. And I think we were able to achieve that. so far with the N-Youth League and the TCC. We came into the season with very high hopes because obviously we're on the back of an unbeaten run. We've played several friendly matches with Premier League sides, NNL sides, and were able to win and have a good momentum coming into the season. So like I said, we had really high hopes, and also in the beginning of the season we had really good wins. About 4 games we were unbeaten in the TCC League. Then moving into the N-Youth League games, we started to lose some games and we started to drop points, and it was really not something that we anticipated, So looking back at the footages of the games and trying to figure out, where things went wrong, we figured out that, we had with our defense and a lot of issues with the goalkeepers, the defense line, their organization, their communication, their anticipation, their positioning in during offensive set pieces against the team. It was issues for the team, and we really tried to see how we can fix that as we went on to keep on seeing a lot of defensive errors in crucial games that we really should have been winning comfortably. For example, the game against R2 Finesse, we went on to concede 4 goals on our home turf. Also against Ayimba on our home turf, we went on to concede 3 goals and we lost. You understand? So we are really trying to make sure that we solidify the defensive, behavior of our players, and it's something that is still a work in progress. We are actively, trying to see how we can tighten up with the technical department, the coaching crew, and see how we can make sure that we get things right defensively on the pitch. And hopefully we believe that part of this second half of the season, and we believe that we should have a much more decent organization in the defense, and it should lead to better performances and much more consistent results. This season we've had a couple of setbacks when it comes to injuries, and I do tell the players every time I speak with them, injuries is part of the game. Beginning of the season we suffered major blows. One of the best deep line playmakers that we have in the team, Kudus Ifani, he injured his ACL, I think, torn. So, and he's still recovering. And then we had Benga, one of our standout performances during the NLO. I think 2 games into the season, he broke his metatarsal. So he's still trying to come back. Also, we had our goalkeeper had a broken toe, and we had to start moving around that. But in the midst of all this, we've had some standout performers that stepped up and lived up to expectations. We have a player like Chinedu Umeh, and I must say Umeh Chinedu's goal ratio is something remarkable. It's been a long while I've seen a player contribute that much goal. I think he's our top scorer for the year 2024. From last season to this season, he's scored over 35, 40, close to 40 goals. I'm sure about 30, because I know when he reached the 30 goal mark last year, then he scored over 10 more this season, and he's in blistering form, a proper goal poacher. Also, we've had injuries with our captain Chinonso, and he has come back to show what he's made of. I think the injury actually did him a lot of good, because coming back, he showed more hunger, showed resilience, and he really came up with something out of his locker. Also, we had a very good performer in the midfield, Benga, but injury really slowed him down, and I'm really looking forward to what he's going to come up with in the second part of the season. He's already training, and hopefully he begins the second half of the season with the boys. So while we think that the boys have not really done well, which is a testament of the high standards that we've set for them, we believe that they've still been able to give a good account of themselves this first half of the season. They've had good performances, injuries here and there, but to an extent, we've been able to hold our own as a team. And I'm really optimistic for the second part of the season. And I believe that, all these injuries being resolved and, a couple of changes being made, technically, I believe that we should come up tops. Unfortunately, changing your coach in the middle of the season is not something we would want to do as a club, but definitely, if it needs to happen, then it has to happen. Now, as a club, we have goals and objectives, and in the beginning of the season, we had targets. We had where we wanted to be and what we wanted to have achieved. With the performances, with the development of the boys, and with our outcomes. So it was really not going as planned. But again, we are optimistic, going into the second half of the season, that there would be a better outcome with the little bit of effort that we are trying to put in now to make sure that we get things right. So we're quite optimistic that the second part of the season will be much better. The captain of the team, Chinonso, was out injured for the major beginning of the season, and led to we seeing several players with the captain's armband. I feel at every point in time, the captain is selected based on who they feel can lead the team in the moment, and of course longevity. Some of them have been here last season, and that's why you could see a player like Ebube putting on the captain armband, a player like Sabo Seidu putting on the captain's armband, and sometimes Dimeji Kilani, who is a leader up front, he puts on their captain's armband. Then also Wasiu, our goalkeeper, was here with us last season. Sometimes he takes up the leadership mantle. So a lot of uncertainties around who would be available, who will not be available, simply because of injuries and the fact that the games were much. We needed to do a lot of rotations. So we want to believe that this second half of the season there will be a lot more consistency in certain aspects of the team. So looking forward to the rest of the season, the second part of the season, we are expectant, and we believe that with much work, in the background, with the boys on the training ground, we are expectant that we should see a much more consistent performance from each player regarding their positions and their performances. And also as a team, we feel that we should arrive at a place where we can comfortably defend goals and concede less and have better display, because for us as a team, you can't take away the business aspect of what we are doing, and at some point the players are the market, and they have to be well baked. They have to be in positions where they are ready to deliver. We're a semi-professional football club, and this is like the last phase before you get into that professional state. So we want to make sure that you have something to give, so that a club is willing to pay for. So we believe that this second half of the season should be much more better, and there should be consistent performances. Thank you for having me, and I must also appreciate the fans around Ijebu-Ode. They've been really supportive. They come out for our games, they support us, they cheer us, and we appreciate everybody. The online supporters too. We see you. Thank you very much.